Good evening. Welcome to the 17th Annual Business and Professional Women's Women of Achievement Awards. It's an honor to be here before you. My name is Diane Gowdy. I'm a local person who truly believes that this is an important function that BPW serves, and that is to honor women who are indeed outstanding. This is the 17th Annual BPW Outstanding Women's Achievement Award, and we have honored close to 120 women over the past 12 years. And so we're certainly proud of that, and we're proud of you and our guests. The Business and Professional Women is an organization here in town that is based actually on an international organization that is designed to elevate and promote the standards of working women. Our major goal is to promote working women through education, programs, and common goals. Here in Fairfield, we're gathered to honor local women who have been chosen by their community as outstanding. The process for this, maybe you're familiar with it, is the Fairfield Ledger runs a ballot. How many saw the ballot in the Fairfield Ledger? Very good. You know, that's a regular process. Then in the lobbies of every financial institution is a ballot box. How many of you noticed a ballot box in the local financial institutions? Welcome to the world of electronic banking, where a lot of us don't even go into the banks anymore, but it is in there for those people who choose to do that. Local community adults are asked to complete the ballots. They can vote for as many of the different women as they so choose. The ballots are then counted, and the majority vote determines who the winner is in the category. If there is not a majority vote in a category, the category remains unfilled for this year, and we have a few of those. We started in 1991, and I'm sure that even 20 years from now, we will never have run out of outstanding women in Fairfield. As I prepared for this evening, I thought about, a speech, and I thought, well, let's keep it really short, and so I really will. But when you think about it, there's a few men in the audience, and, you're okay too. You men, you're okay. But women have done an awful lot for our country as well. There's an organization, and I really didn't know too much about it until I prepared for my speech, and that it's called the National Women's Hall of Fame. Have you ever heard of it? In Seneca Falls, New York, and they honor outstanding women, and they've inducted over 220 women into their Hall of Fame. And I was reading some of the biographies of some of the women, and it struck me what a far distance we have come. One of the ladies who's being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, it said that she wrote for local and national publications on anti-slavery issues. And if you think all the way back when slavery was in our country and the role women played in that, it's pretty astounding. She actually organized the first women's rights convention in Seneca Falls in 1848. And so women have been very active for a lot of years. Her name is Martha Coffin Wright, and I don't know that you've heard of that, but I thought that was kind of important. There was another lady being inducted this year because of her work with the national parks. Another one because she worked with first rocket-borne telescopes. Another, she was actually a vice presidential candidate. Do you remember that when the Green ticket had a vice presidential candidate? That was actually a woman. And now we have Hillary Clinton, who is running for president of our country, and that certainly tells us how far women have come. Last week I had the opportunity of attending ISEA, which is the Iowa State Education Association of Teachers, and Hillary Clinton sent a video for us to watch. She addressed our organization, and it was really interesting to see what she believed in, what her goals were, and of course we were in education, and so she talked a lot about that. But it's like 100 years ago, who would have thought a lady would be addressing us as a presidential candidate? There's another lady, some of you perhaps have read her book, Dr. Kubler-Ross, who wrote on death and dying. I know that I've read it, and maybe some of you have too, and she's done a lot of research in hospitals and the terminally ill. And someone who is expert on foreign affairs and diplomacy, someone who works for women in engineering, and then the last one, now you all will recognize this one, I promise, Julia Child. And she is being inducted into this Women's Hall of Fame. She was an American cook, author, television personality, and she introduced French cuisine and cooking techniques to America. So I'm certainly not a Julia child, and perhaps you aren't either, but we certainly can celebrate her successes. So I bring this up to you just because women have played an outstanding role in our nation and in our world, and today we're here to honor who on the local level has done some outstanding things. Our first recipient this evening is our outstanding volunteer. And we certainly know how important volunteers are to many things to make our community grow. Could I please have Nellie Boothstock come forward? Yes, I said it right. All right, come forward. Round of applause, please.
Nellie, before you begin, we would like to present you with this certificate. And we also have a copy of the ballot that was available so that, and on one side of it, it shows all of the people who have received this award in the past years so that you can peruse that and see who else has received this award. But congratulations.
Thank you. When I got my call on the telephone, I couldn't believe it, but I do accept this honor. I do work at the gift shop, and I work at the bargain box, and then somebody asked me how many years I was at the gift shop, and I just don't remember, but it's been a long time. And I was really proud this morning because I sold $99 and some odd cents this morning from 9 to 12 at the gift shop. And I have volunteered a lot at my church, a lot more when I was younger than I am now at the Foursquare Church. But I have 2 children, Terry Wayne, who was in all the sports back in the 70s. And I have a daughter that lives in California, 46 and 51 is their ages. Thank you so much for this honor.
Okay, before you leave, Nellie, does anyone have any questions for Nellie? She's very active in the Foursquare Gospel Church, and I know one thing she does all the time. She submits names for the birthday club. And I have won birthday cakes just because of her, so that's really cool. Anybody have any questions or concerns? All right, if not, we hope you feel very, very honored. Thank you, Nellie. All right, our second recipient is someone that I've personally known for a very long time. I've had the pleasure of working with her. I've had the pleasure of knowing her parents. I've met her sisters on various occasions. I've taught her children, I hope a little bit of something now and then. And her husband fixes my mower when I do bad things to it. So we have at the high school and all the way through our school district, we have what is called associates. And associates are there to help our students, first of all, and to help our teachers with their needs. For those of you not in education, our world has changed. Our world has changed. Our schools have changed, and we're very busy trying to keep up with them. The amount of special needs that we have in our schools is higher than it's ever been before. And it takes a very special type of person to work with the special needs students. I've been blessed with Carla in my classroom, and she just has a way about her. She just has a way of approaching a student, and instead of going, what are you supposed to be doing, or can't you focus, or things that really are ineffective, she just kind of sits down beside them, and she kind of grabs their paper and says, what are we doing today? Let's kind of do this together. And they respond. They respond in a wonderful way. I've asked her to do umpteen things in the classroom for me, and it's always, okay, I'll do that. And there's just never any doubt that she's going to take care of what we need. And so it's an honor for me on behalf of all the students she serves, as well as on behalf of the teachers and the administration, to say the outstanding female person working in education is Mrs. Revel.
We'll let them get a look at it. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And as a former educator, those associates in the classroom are more valuable than you can imagine. Without them, the teachers would definitely be totally overwhelmed And thank you from
You're
all
welcome.
of the
Thank you.
teachers for everything that you do for the children.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane and Diane. And I want to thank the Professional Women's Organization and those who nominated me for this award. I feel very honored to be here tonight. Russell and I were looking over the list of previous winners, and we were reminded of the many great women in this community that have made Fairfield such a great place to live and to raise a family. I grew up in the Fairfield area. I graduated from Fairfield High School, went to Kirkwood Community College. My parents are Lane and Jane Bush, and along with my 4 sisters, we lived on a farm north of Fairfield. My husband Russell and I will be married 29 years, the 29th of April, so I guess that's our golden anniversary.
Very good.
And we raised our 4 children north of Fairfield on a farm. We belong to Hope Lutheran Church. Our 2 daughters are graduates of the University of Northern Iowa. Sarah is married to Tony Adrian, and they live north of Fairfield and have blessed us with our first grandson, Tanner, who's 20 months. 20 months. And our second daughter is Kristen. She's married to Tim McCready. They live in Waterloo, and they're expecting twins, a boy and a girl, in August. Adam is a senior at Iowa State University, and Alex is a freshman at Fairfield High School. When I applied for the job of associate, well, actually I didn't know what I was applying for at the time, but when I went in to apply in June of 1996, I interviewed with Mr. Ralph Messerly at that time. He was the principal. And we just chatted for a while, and he told me that there were 2 positions open, one as a library assistant and one as a special ed associate. And he kind of explained what the jobs were and asked me which one I would prefer. And without hesitation, I said the library one, because I had no idea what went on in a classroom, working with students. So for the past 11 years, I've been a special ed associate. And I am very thankful for that. I love what I do. It's fun to interact with the kids. And even though there's a wide spectrum between their abilities, but it's a very satisfactory job. And throughout the day, I travel to gen ed classrooms. I've been in Mrs. Gowdy's class for several years. I have learned a lot about computers and the business world, and she has extreme knowledge of that. And I'm very thankful that I get to travel to the different classes. Depending on what the class is, like in the sciences, I've been in biology and integrated science. I take notes, I do the worksheets that the students do, and mainly that's just so I can prepare myself. Some of the information is kind of hard, and when you've been away from that for a long time, it's changed. And anyway, so I just try to prepare myself for when the students need help and resource or before or after school, then I'm ready to help them in whatever way I can. I also do administrative work for the department. I put together some reports that go out to the special ed teachers and the administrators, and I do various other jobs for the department. I feel very fortunate to work in our school district. It is quality people that do quality work. They put forth 100% to do whatever they can to see that kids are successful. And my goal in working at the high school is to help kids to feel successful in who they are. I don't want to do their work for them. I want them to know that they can do it themselves, and to help prepare them to be a better citizen when they walk out of that building for the final day when they get ready to graduate. So once again, I thank you who nominated me, and for you here tonight for giving me this award. Thank you.
Have any questions or anything for Carla? I didn't know that you were going to be a library associate.
I wasn't. That's what I wanted to be.
I know, but then what happened? It just kind of changes around and things.
Well, there was 2 of us for the job, and Pat got it.
Well, I won because, I do use the library, but I get to utilize you a whole lot more. But what a great opportunity it is to work with kids and to make them feel like they are somebody, because they are. And whether they have the best reading level or the best math level, they are the best that they're trying to be. And so it's really an honor to work with them and to work with Carla, and we certainly appreciate that. Any questions? Okay. If not, I'm not going to call you Melcher, but I'll call you Welcher. In just a moment here, I'm going to introduce to you the outstanding business owner of a business that I don't know how many of you have utilized. The Banner Can Redemption Center. Let's see, a round of yes. Oh my goodness, you are very well represented here. And that's been going on for about a year and a half. And I remember when it moved, there was, a different business doing it, and then now you're a totally different business and you own it, and I'll be very curious for you to say why and how you started this and how it's going for you. So would you please welcome with me the outstanding business owner, Mrs. Welcher.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's very nice to have you here with us this evening.
My name is Jennifer Welcher, and as she said, I own the Can Redemption Center here in town. And it's kind of a different business. If you don't know what it is, the beverage containers that you have, you bring them into us, and we give you the 5 cents that you paid for at the store. And then we in turn sort those cans by distributor, and we turn them in and we get 6 cents back. So we make a penny a can, and it's been that way since the bottle bill was introduced to Iowa, I believe in 1978 or 1979. So it's an old bill, and a penny is not much to work on, and it's not a business that you're going to become a millionaire in. It's really just basically a community service. And I knew that getting into the business. The owner of Napa here in town actually started the business, and I was his manager for the first year. And he came to me and asked me if I wanted to own it. And I thought, do I want to do this? My husband and I talked about it for a couple of months, and we finally decided that, yeah, we're going to take that adventure. We're going to put faith in God that, he's going to make this work for us. And so far, so good. 6 months, and I would say a lot of hours later, we're still open, and we're still, I believe, providing a very good community service. And my husband is Matt Welcher. We attend the Central Baptist Church. We have no kids yet. That's why we're able to work the long hours we do. He's the manager of Napa, so really it's just pretty much ran by me, and then I have one full-time worker who's my mother, and I have another part-time kid that helps as needed. So on average, we take in about 20,000 cans a day. So if you can imagine, that's a lot of cans and bottles that aren't on our roadways, and I think that it's a really good service, because if it wasn't for us being in town, I don't know where people would take all those cans and bottles. I can't imagine Fairfield not having one. So.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for us?
I would just like to make a comment. It's actually now a pleasure to take cans and fly back to your
Thank
facility.
you.
So thank you from the community for offering that.
We really try.
So were there any big surprises when you started your business? Like, oh my goodness,
Well,
I never thought about this. Or-
We really didn't know what kind of volume we were working with. It's kind of funny because when we first built the counter and built the things in the Redemption Center, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. So we were thinking, we were going to put bottles into plastic totes, and we could clean the totes as they got dirty. And, now that, once we got up and running, we realized that it's a much larger scale than that. You can't buy enough plastic totes, and, it's just, it's really unbelievable the volume that we do. And, every day we've got people coming in and saying, I've never been here before. So our business is just growing and growing, and we actually serve Van Buren County, Washington County. There's people that come from Henry County, Wapello County, and I think a lot of the reason they come to us is because we don't have a lot of rules. We don't get mad at you if they're dirty, or if they're not a certain way. And I think that just really makes people appreciate us, and that's what keeps people coming back from communities that have one in their community. So I'm pretty proud of that when they come from Mount Pleasant and say, we come here because we like you, or you're so clean, or so.
Great. Any other questions? If not, congratulations.
Thank you.
I have noticed that friendly face when you go in there, which is really nice, because you gather up all this stuff and you never quite know what's in it. You assume that it's just cans, but a lot of us have children, and I remember the first time and I dumped my wad of cans and there went a Hot Wheel and a pencil, and it's just like, oh, I'm a little embarrassed, but she was like, oh, well, just pick it out. So thank you for doing that. Quote that I had read today was, success is a matter of holding on while others let go. And so I wish that for you. I'm from Nebraska originally, and they don't have that can bill there. And so they don't get it, when I say, oh, well, you take all the cans, because in Nebraska, you put all the cans, but you squish them. You squish them, and then you take them and they buy it by the pound. And it's really, I don't know that it's really worth the hassle of doing it in a lot of respects, but you do it. But this way you feel like, okay, I'm helping the bottling industry, I'm helping the community, and we're certainly helping our roadsides. Yes, sir.
You just mentioned it, like cleaning our roadsides up.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps them clean.
Yes, it does. And that's a lot better for all of us.
Yes.
A lot better for all of us, so let's keep doing that if we can. And I even noticed you tried to kind of decorate in there, you got some pretties here and there, and it is clean, and so thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't believe you do 20,000 cans a day. That's a lot of cans.
It is. I never would have thought it would be that much, but, and there's days that I think the most, our record was 36,000 in one day maybe, and.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
One of the servers is my husband likes is the fact that he can take the cans, drop them off, and come back later and collect his money.
You offer that service?
Oh, yeah. We
Wow. I learned something new.
We even have a route. We have a route that we go around to area businesses and pick up for them also. So.
Seriously, you're really working hard to accommodate your public, aren't you?
Yep.
Well, good luck to you. Okay. When you think of the government, you think of what? If you think of city, county, state, national government, do you think public library? You should. Public library is funded by government dollars, and the public library is a wonderful place to be. Fairfield is blessed with a wonderful library. If you travel around much and go to libraries, which I kind of like to do. I like to go in not weird communities, but I like to go to communities. And I'm a little bit weird because I like to go in libraries and see what they're like. Ours is very, 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 very nice. And we have outstanding staff there to work with. For years, we had Jim Rubus at the helm, and we all got used to Jim. And he had all of the support staff there to help us, and we appreciate that. Well, Jim left, but some people stayed. And Deanna Pesche decided to be the stay, and she works at our Fairfield Public Library, and she is considered this year as our outstanding government employee. Can we welcome Deanna Pesche?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for all that you do for the city of Fairfield and all of us as library patrons. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me here, whoever nominated me. Thank you, too. I'll find out someday, surely.
No, you won't.
It is an honor. When you receive an award, you immediately feel, well, why do I deserve that, and feel like you don't deserve it. there are some times that don't always go well, and you wish you could do things better, but you wake up the next day and you start all over again, and whatever didn't go right the day before, you work at it again the next day. We're supposed to tell something about ourselves, so my husband is Mike Pesche, and I know you've heard that name. Pesche has been on 3 businesses in Fairfield for many years, either as Pesche Welding, Pesche Radiator, or Pesche Muffler. My husband is the one left, and Pesche Radiator. However, Pesche Muffler is owned by Mr. Palmer, who happens to be in this room tonight. So it's kind of interesting. My husband is also, you may have heard of him, he is on the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. Pesche Radiator is dying out. It's one of those businesses that changes with the changes that happen in cars and vehicles. Different types of material are used in the cars, and radiators aren't repaired as much as they used to be. So when that happened, he ran for the Board of Supervisors and has won twice and expects to finish his second term there. We have 2 daughters. Aubrey is a graduate of Iowa State, and she works in Fort Collins, Colorado. She's a certified financial planner, and she's still singing. She sings with the Sweet Adelines Chorus in Fort Collins, and they're competing in Colorado Springs this next weekend. My other daughter, Sabri, and I are both going to go with her, and we get to go up on stage and sing with her. They invite moms and siblings to do that, so that'll be kind of fun. Sabri is a graduate of the University of Wyoming, and Diane Whitney, you might like to know that her major was fashion merchandising. Although she doesn't do that now. She works for Congressman Cuban. She's the administrative assistant. She just finished a sit-down dinner for 300 people that she organized herself. I can hardly get dinner on the table for the 2 of us, so that's kind of amazing. So the library has been the love of my life in Fairfield, besides Mike and my girls. I started work there in 1984. Jim Rubis hired me. I started with just a few hours a week. My girls were small, and as they grew and I felt like I had more time away from them, I gradually became full-time. It still amazes me. The other day we had a job opening advertised, and someone inquired about it at the front desk, and someone passing by said, "Oh, why would you inquire about that here? They only pay minimum wage." Well, it was all I could do to keep from saying, but the quality of the work we do here might make quite a difference to this person. And I'm looking at 24 years, and in a couple of years we'll be retiring myself, and I'll have a pension and Social Security. So slow and steady. I'm a little ways away from minimum wage, but that's how you get started sometimes. I'm also amazed when people come to the counter and they bring up their DVDs to check out and bring out their dollars and say, "How much is it?" And people forget that it's free. Everything we have at the library is free. We do have deposits on things. I should tell you that we just got 3 new LCD projectors in. They're a big item for people who speak at events, and we are always booking those. And the deposit is going to be raised from $250 each time you use that. But you get that back when you bring it back. It's still free. Downloadable audio has been talked about, and you probably know more about that than I do. But people are looking forward to that service. The internet is thriving. We went through a brand new system in August, and The good part is that when they do this again in about 7 years, I will be retired. I won't have to do that again. But it's been quite a change for everyone, not only in our directorship. She's a woman, by the way. But the changes in the way we do things with the new internet service and the new things we have. So I have thoroughly enjoyed working at the library. I hope that the community really values what they have in it. I have a lot of visitors who come from other counties too and remark what a nice library it is. And I know it's in good hands, and it'll be carrying the same services in the next 30 years as it did in the past. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions for Deanna? The public library is an awesome spot. I served on the library board for 12 years, and I went to the library all of the time. And Deanna was there all of that time and more. And I honestly didn't mind when you called me and said I had overdue books. I really didn't mind. And the only reason is not that I liked the fact that I had overdue books or my children forgot them, but I always thought I was giving money to a good cause. I really did. I never minded paying overdue library book fee because we need the library. We really do. And certainly in education, we know the value of the preschool children and being read to and how it affects them for their entire life. So thank you for the services you provide. And there's no words that can make up for your actions and your quality. Thank you. Now, our next recipient knows that 1 + 1 = 2, in a sense. But who's to say one kindness added to another only leads to 2? And this person happens to be the accounts receivable assistant at Southeast Iowa Case Management, where certainly kindness does occur on a daily basis. She is our outstanding office and administrative support person, and her name is Samantha Adam. Would you welcome her?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm Samantha Adam. I work at Southeast Iowa Case Management. I have been there for 4 years, and we have 7 offices, and I actually started in our Ottumwa office and transferred to Fairfield. I started out as just a secretary, and I have slowly moved to the accounts receivable, so I enter charges and payments and work a lot with numbers. I also do a lot of typing, answer the phones, so we kind of do everything. I am originally from Cantrell. I'm married to John Adam. We've been together about 5 years. We've been married for 1.5 years, and we just welcomed a new son in January. So I've actually only been back to work from maternity leave for about a month, so it was a nice surprise. It's hard to get back into the swing of work and sleep, and so it was a very nice surprise to receive this award. And it was actually funny. I saw the ballot by the copy machine, and I was reading through it, and I thought, oh, how neat if I would get that someday. And about 3 days later, Diane called, and I thought, boy, they're reading my mind. So it's very nice. I'm very honored that I received it, and thank you to everyone who voted for me. That's
Any questions? Did you mean to say sleep or lack of sleep? Lack of. We've all been there, so we kind of know what that is. All right. I read a quotation once by Jen in Deanna, who means nothing to me, but probably she's a great person, I don't know. But she said, in her quote, "When I was in school, I will never forget my best friend telling me to think about myself a little more, but don't think of anyone else any less." And perhaps that's what we can think about when we think of the bargain box and the fact that they are there to help a lot of people in a lot of different ways. They're not only there to help those of us who have things that we want to move on to another owner, but they're also there to help people who need to have them in the first place. So our outstanding service provider this year is the manager of the bargain box. Please welcome Deb Bartholomew.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for all that you do for the community, both from the standpoint of helping us clear out our closets, etc., but also from the standpoint of those of us as customers who enjoy going into the bargain box.
Well,
and
thank you.
shopping there.
I'm Deb Bartholomew. My husband Dale and I live at 1001 South 5th Street. I have 2 grown sons, one 13-year-old stepdaughter, and 4 grandsons. I've lived in Jefferson County close to 35 years. I started as the bargain box manager November 29th of 2004. We were located at 52 West Burlington Avenue. March 1st, 2006, we moved to 56 East Burlington Avenue. The bargain box is operated by the Jefferson County Hospital Auxiliary. All of the hours except my own are volunteer hours, and all of our items are donated by our generous community and surrounding areas, which makes the bargain box able to be a successful service provider for our community. On behalf of the auxiliary, myself, and all the volunteers at the bargain box, we would like to thank everyone that voted for us, and thanks to the Business and Professional Women's Club for the certificate.
Thank you. If there's one thing you wish everybody knew about the bargain box and how it operates, how would you finish that sentence?
I wish everybody would bring their stuff inside.
Bring it inside. Is that a problem? They set it out in the...
Yes,
So it's a lot better inside.
yes,
Rains and snows and
yes.
Okay.
it's room.
So we can all put that on our list of things to do. Anything else we could do to help you do your job?
No, not really. That's the main, I think that's our main.
Do you feel like you have way too much stuff or not enough, or are you doing okay, or
Oh, we always have enough.
really?
But, you know, we hate to refuse any, and we don't unless we have to.
Okay.
We have other places for it to go, and so it's not like we waste it in any manner.
So good, you've got a channel for it to
Yes.
be moved on to.
Mhm.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
This same company is coming up again, this Southeast Iowa Case Management. It's appearing again. And we're going to be honoring, in just a minute here, our outstanding professional. And it says here, to give to another human being without the expectation of a return. And perhaps that's what they do at Iowa Case Management, is they teach people how to give of themselves, and maybe they don't always get a return, but we hope tonight that Terry Mercer feels like she's getting a return. She's getting a great big thank you. So congratulations to our outstanding professional.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're very honored to have you here as our guest this evening.
Thank you very much. It was kind of funny, like 2 minutes after Sam got the call, then she said, Terry, you're one on the line by Diane. So it was like within 2 minutes, 2 of us. I'm like, what is this? But thank you very much. I appreciate the award. I started at Southeast Iowa Case Management in 1994. I had been out of college 3 years. I was a late college student. I started at the age of 30 and thought, what am I doing in college? But I made it through 4 years. I have a degree in education. I subbed for about 2 years. Didn't really like the subbing much. Couldn't find a full-time job, so I started looking for other things, and I ended up in social work. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't go back to education for anything. We do work with children,
So I do get to work, in the field that I thought I was going to be working in for the rest of my life. We work with chronically mentally ill people, mentally retarded people, and developmentally disabled people. When I started, we were in 3 counties and had about 300 individuals. We now work in 13 counties in southeast Iowa, and we have over 1,000 individuals that we serve. So as you can tell, our company has grown, and we're helping many, many people in Iowa. In fact, out of the 99 counties, we actually have connections in 33 of those counties, not just locally. So our company is really, really growing. We're up to 70 or 80 employees now. We started with 10 or 15. So it's a wonderful company. It's mostly women. I think we have 2 token males. We've had 2 or 3 along the way, but two at the one time is about the most we've ever gotten. So we had one come in and interview today, so we'll see how that goes too. Anyway, I am married, and between my husband and I, we have 5 sons, 21 to 29. We have a 6-year-old granddaughter and twins that live in Kansas City, boys, and we're expecting another grandson in August. I've been told twice, 2 ultrasounds, it's a boy, so we'll see. I didn't have that option when I was having kids, so it's kind of exciting. I live in Van Buren County. I live near the Lake Sujima, out in the middle of nowhere. I live near Amish people. They have 14 children, so I get to experience Amish life pretty much daily basis. And they do have a trampoline. I haven't figured that one out, but just a great company to work for, and thank you so much for this honor.
Any questions? Thank you for explaining a little bit more about your company and what it does. I didn't realize it had expanded that much.
Yeah, it's really growing. We're I think the largest private company in the state.
Really?
So it just keeps growing.
That's good. Okay. So Diane, Whitney, and I were counting the ballots the other night, and we were going, what to do about this, what to do about this? And we decided that it really is pretty non-traditional to be involved with concrete as a lady. I mean, that's got to be a little bit non-traditional. And so when the votes came in, it's like we absolutely agree that the outstanding non-traditional woman this year is the co-owner of the Fairfield Precast Concrete Company, Cindy Searcy.
Just a note to mention about this is Diana and I were commenting. We have been doing this for a number of years, so we have a method down to counting the ballots and everything. And when we started doing this, what was considered non-traditional for women is not really any longer so non-traditional. So we had a little difficulty trying to define exactly what is non-traditional for a woman. But we definitely felt that the concrete business was of the most non-traditional that we had nominated. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Cindy Searcy, and my husband and I, Mike and I, own Fairfield Precast Concrete, and we've owned that since June of the year 2000. Between the 2 of us, we have 6 children, 4 grandchildren, and that number keeps growing. So I guess my unusual or non-traditional career kind of got started in my childhood. Growing up on a farm with 2 brothers, there was never any jobs that were girl jobs or boy jobs. If it needed to be done, it needed to be done. So that kind of set the stage for owning a precast concrete business. And a bank teller asked me the other day, she had to fill out a form and they wanted to know what I did at the concrete business, and she said, well, I just told them everything. So that's probably about right. Everything from stocking the refrigerator to driving trucks to smoothing off concrete to cleaning forms, talking with contractors, promoting our business and our new products. I think that's probably the favorite part of my job, is dealing with customers and finding out what they need and how I can help them with whatever we have. So I do have a commercial driver's license. I joked for years that I enjoy driving so much, I should be a truck driver, and not realizing then that I would become a truck driver. I don't do California runs, things like that. But we deliver within normally a 60-mile radius of our company, and I do some of the long runs with my husband. If we have to take 2 trucks, he drives one and I drive one. So it's kind of fun. It's, unusual. It's just developed into something that I can use a lot of different skills. We sell a few landscaping type products, and I've got an interest in that, so I can help people plan designs and things. So a lot of different things that are quite unusual and quite fun. So, and I would try to explain more of what I do all day, but you'd have to just follow me around to understand, because that'd be the best way. So I thank those of you who nominated or voted for me, and my family for their support over the years. So thank you for inviting me here.
A lady truck driver, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that is kind of scary. I bet it. Maybe we should run the other way when she gets behind the truck. I bet she does just fine. I bet she does.
Got a CDL license.
Well, there you go. We had 3 categories that did not have a majority vote. And so it is our custom to honor them by not honoring them, and we do play legitimate on this. And so this year we did not have a clear-cut majority on female outstanding health provider, outstanding female bank or financial institution employee, or outstanding female marketing and sales. So we will not be honoring them this evening. I'd like to thank Shelley Urban on behalf of FPAC for filming this for us. It will be on Channel 9. Do you have any idea when, Shelley? I don't have my schedule on me either, but if you turn on Channel 9, there's a scroll, and if you watch, then it will come by, and so you can see this. So this closes my portion of this program tonight, and it's been an honor to be with you and honor you ladies. And I have Diane Whitney, who has been, for those of you who don't realize it, she was the Business and Professional Women president of the entire Iowa State organization. I don't know if you realize that, but she is a very honored woman in this organization, not just on the local level, but also on the state level. And she wants to share just a little bit about Equal Pay Day. So thank you.
Thank you all for being here with us this evening, because it really is a special time, as we've said before, to have the opportunity to honor all of you who do so much, and not just those who received the awards tonight, but everyone who is nominated, and just all of the women that do so much to help everyone. And it is a little frustrating when we count the ballots and we find, that there are no clear-cut winners in some of these categories, even though there are a number of highly qualified women that have been nominated. But when there is no majority winner, we feel that it's only fair that we just not honor anyone there. I have a little bit of information that I would like to share with you about Equal Pay Day. And it says every year in April, Business and Professional Women USA and hundreds of other organizations team up for a national day of action promoting fair pay. It's called Equal Pay Day. Pay equity continues to be an issue of economic justice for women and minorities in America. April symbolizes the month when women's wages catch up to men's wages from the previous year. To help end the wage inequities, we are working to achieve pay equity in America, and we coordinate this annual day of action. Achieving fair pay for women and minorities continues to be a struggle for the U.S. The problem is complex. In some instances, women and people of color do not receive equal pay for doing the same job as their male or white counterparts. On a broader level, because socialization in America is not free from sex or race bias, we continue to wrestle with stereotypes about women and people of color, including stereotypes about what kind of work is appropriate for women and the importance of their jobs. When parking lot attendants are paid more than child care workers, we know that the work that women do is undervalued. While earnings statistics do not tell the whole story, they are an important indicator of the progress that we have made in wage parity and in economic opportunity, such as ensuring fair opportunities to earn more. Several legal cases have focused on the problems women and people of color face in gaining access to higher paying positions, such as revenue generating jobs. Overall, in 2006, the median annual earnings of women were only 77% of men's salaries. The gap is even worse for women of color. African American women make 66% of men's salaries, Latinas make 55 cents of men's salaries, and Asian Americans women make 80% of men's salaries. According to the AFL-CIO, over a 40-year career, the average 25-year-old woman who works full-time will earn approximately $523,000 less than the average man if current wage patterns continue. And on the radio this morning, I was listening to Paul Harvey, and he was telling of an AAUW survey that after a 4-year college education, 1 year after graduation, a woman will earn 80% of what a man earns. And in 10 years after graduation, the woman will only earn 69%. It does not go up, it goes down. And that's one of the things that BPW is working towards on a national level, is on pay equity. And there are a number of bills that have just been reintroduced into the United States Congress. And Senator Clinton is one of the ones that has been working really hard on this. Senator Harkin is also a real champion for these issues as well. And would like to encourage all of you just to be aware of these facts and be knowledgeable when it comes time to express an opinion and to make any votes that might make those decisions. So that concludes our Women of Achievement Awards presentation at this time. Thank you for coming. We are going to be having a short business meeting, and we would certainly invite you to stay if you would like. But if you have other things that you need to be doing, we understand, and we thank you very much for coming and hope that you have a very good evening. So thank you.
Can you explain
yes.
when BPW meets and if people are interested in membership, how it is?
Certainly. Our local organization meets it's usually on the 4th Monday of the month, unless it's like in December and that happens to be Christmas week, or in May and it happens to be Memorial Day. But it's usually the 4th Monday of the month that it meets. We meet various locations, and membership is open to any individual, not just women, but men can belong as well. And it's open to any individual, and if anyone is interested, they could contact any of us that are BPW members, and we would be happy to share more information with them. So thank you.